This is the Toward a New World podcast with your host, Corinna Stoffel. As a space for all things regarding the global, collective transition we are in, we have conversations about transition, separation, and connection regarding oneself, others, and the earth. The aim is to educate, empower, and inspire. Hello and welcome. Here we are again, last week of the year, last episode for season 1. And because it's the last week of the year, I have been looking at authenticity, especially in light of setting intentions for next year in regards to workshops. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And being authentic is important for me in that space. So I started exploring it. First place I went was the dictionary. What does a dictionary say? It says the really inspiring definition. Authentic means who we truly are. Duh. I could have come up with that on my own, not needing the dictionary. Looking over my life, I had relative ease in high school with math. And so I decided, okay, for a woman, it's a good thing to be a teacher, become a math teacher. And I really valued that part of the real estate, being able to think logically. In my mid-30s, something shifted, having moved by then I was about 7 years here in the US, total change of environment in a sense, because I had to create new friendships. The old ones were still in Europe, in Germany. So I developed a deep connection with the earth. The beauty of the Western US really contributed strongly to that. But I also went back to school, got a master's in counseling. And if you would have told me in my 20s that I would get a master's in counseling, I would have said, you're nuts. There is nothing logical about being a counselor. And to some extent, that is true. Because if you want to be a good counselor, you need to be willing and able to perceive the energy of your client. It's still easy for me to go into my head. And on the other hand, there's also memories that came up where I remembered situations as a child where I knew things that logically I could not know. Over the years, I've become pretty aware of who I am, what I do, how I function. And as I said, it's important for me to be authentic. But what the heck does that mean? I mean, how does it look like lived? How do I act? So I'm not the very same person every day. On some level in my head, authentic is a static term, not something flexible. So in my exploration, I looked, what if authentic means being true to myself in every moment? Showing my words, acknowledging my current emotional state, and choosing to act accordingly. For instance, not interacting with somebody if I'm really pissed. I realized we may develop different personas for different areas of our life. I'm not 100% sure that in my personal life, how I live from day to day, how I interact with friends, how I interact with clients, how I am as a workshop facilitator is all the same. So, wonder, is authenticity a core component of those different personas? It's not that I have the answer. I'm sharing my exploration with you. What if authentic means being honest with self and others? Willing to look at myself and become aware of, what am I pushing away? I know I have done that. And as I said, I'm still exploring. So I'm asking for your help to be able to explore this in more depth. Would you leave a comment and share what authentic means to you and how you stay authentic? What do you do? How do you go about it? I would love to hear that. Take that in, be with it, and then see where I end up with my exploration of authenticity. Since next week will be in the new year, I just wanted to let you know that I am no longer live streaming to Facebook and LinkedIn. I have pulled up by the weekend every single episode of this year's podcasts, and I will post the links to the podcast that is hosted by Spotify on the social medias. And as a look ahead, next week I'm interviewing a friend of mine and we'll talk about astrology. What are the big arcs or events that, yeah, I don't know if I want to call it events. What are the big arcs, the energies for 24 and maybe at least for the beginning of the year? So I look forward to connecting with you. Have a marvelous New Year celebration. And until January, take care. Bye bye.